Okay, welcome back to my IRC Bot and C from Scratch series. Today's episode is number 16, and I completely forgot where I was at from last time. It's been a week. Normally I would start these up around Wednesdays, but something came up yesterday where I wasn't able to really do that. So just figure I might as well try to see where I'm at by looking at my Git history. I will figure out where I was at from last time. I think I was doing something with the actual parsing. Let's see what I call a socket fun. And I think I need to do sublime git. Oh, yeah, I could do that. Do that maybe, and then drag over my notes, which they didn't show up. Wow. Okay. Yeah, never mind. Whatever. I thought I would have something more clever to do, but I don't care to make it work right now, so alright. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I got as far as sending out messages to the screen that are at least the prefixes. So I think that's where I left off, and I guess tonight what I ought to do is I should have planned this out a bit better, but I think tonight what I ought to do is work on the actual command parsing, not the parameters. We can get to those later, but for right now, I would like to focus on the commands. I think that I am able to send custom commands through IRC, but I don't know how those exactly work. I've never actually tested that before. Give me a minute while I try to get my connections going here. Oh, I connected. So I wonder if I connect to this, if I can send my own commands, but I shouldn't see them up here anyway, at least not yet. I was trying to get my IRC thing going. Okay. I don't know if it's going to come as if the command would come as a parameter as part of the the command, or if it would actually come in as a command if I did something custom. I never actually gotten that far with the specs, so it might be worth it for me to actually just try to, I don't know, get this going first, try to parse out the command, put it into the variable, so I can look at it, and then we'll be able to see for sure what's going on there. So all right, okay, so we got the prefix going. Now I want to add the command, whether it's a code or an actual value. I did a little bit thinking since the last time I did this. Currently I'm looking for like this nos pcrlffc to determine whether what's coming in through the lexer is that or a digit or some other character, but I kind of want that to be kind of like a catch-all, because I want to actually be able to look at digits individually, as well as letters individually. So what I would like to do instead is look at letter and then digit first, and then do this nos whatever catch-all. But I would have to reorder it here first, and then I would have to change up my prefix function because it's not currently looking for a letter or anything else at the moment. So let me go ahead and see if I have a token for. I have one for integer literal. I'm actually going to get rid of those. I don't need those anymore. And then instead I'm going to add one for IRC token digit. if I could spell it, digit. And then what I can do then is have static bool is digit, pass in the character, and then I'm going to go ahead and create that function down below. Oh, I already have that. Well, that's convenient. And I just added it back up here. Sweet. All right. Or it's already there. Huh, I didn't see it. Odd, considering I didn't have a token for it to begin with. So, cool. Right. So, well, I could do that, or I could check first if it's a non-specific whatever, and then do a digit or a character, or a letter, but I won't go down that rabbit hole right now. I'll just kind of differentiate between the two. So let's go ahead and copy this commented out code that I have down here below, and then put that before a letter. So if current character, okay, so I must have not copied the wrong thing, wrong commands, keyboard shortcuts. So let's look for that before the actual letter here, or after the yeah, before the letter. And then instead of doing a parse int, I'm just going to do parse. Well, I could do an integer, but the problem with that is if the prefix has numbers in it, it's going to try to return integers with it, and I just don't necessarily want to do that. I want them all to be strings. So I think I'll just do parse digit. I'll create that function, and then we're going to return, well, we're going to advance it, my lexer, and then return the token digit. Cool. And then I'm going to go ahead and create that function parse digit. So let's see here, parse word, parse int. Now this isn't going to handle anything negative valued, so but I don't need to worry about that since it's always going to be, I think according to the spec, I think it's always supposed to be like a positive number. Let me pull that up real quick actually. That might be good to do. What did I call it? IRC. Here's the link. Sweet. Let's go ahead and shorten that up. All right. Let's see here. 2.0. I think it was under 2. 2.3. No. No. Oh yeah. Okay. It was down below. It was further. Okay. So command is a letter or 3 digits. I don't see anything else relating to digit down here. Digit is between these characters, these numbers. So yeah, so there's nothing to suggest that it's going to allow a negative number. It's just a digit. So I think this means 1 to 3. That makes sense because that's an IP address, IPv4. So here we'll be looking at, for our command, it's either going to be a one or many letters or 3 digits exactly. Okay. Okay. And since we know that the parameter So we know a couple of things too. Either there's going to be some sort of space before before this should move to the next state, or it should be the CRLF line feed ending, which will tell me whether or not to go to the next state. So I should know whether to go to parameters next or the end based off of whether there's a CRLF or a space. So that should be easy enough. So let me go ahead and just write out this parse digit function real quick. I'm going to go ahead and copy that. Oh no, wrong keyword. Or key shortcut. And then parse int, instead of doing that. Okay, and this should be pretty easy. I don't even need to do that. I thought it was going to be a little bit more difficult than that. I just realized I don't need to actually parse anything at all because I'm not looping through anything. Wow, I am not thinking tonight. Okay, so what I could do instead is I could just actually like return the actual value of the digit. So I guess I could just be like what was it? Int darn it. It's like A2I, I think. A2I. But it's looking for a string. Which I don't have in this case. I would just have a character. I could try to calculate what it is. I mean, so like the there could be a way where I could get the integer value of the current character, and then I could subtract that from the integer value of 0, and I think that might get me the result I'm looking for, because if this is 9, or if this is if the character is at position say 60, and the 0 and it's the number 9, then the 0 should be at what, 51? So 60 minus 51 should equal 9, right? I'm just gonna verify that. It's so dumb. And it does. So I'm just gonna do that, and that should work out all right, as a matter of fact. So then it's going to be token digit, and we're going to get the value. But I need to fix my, but before I can get to that, I need to fix my actual prefix parser here, because right now I'm looking for token whatever this is. So what I'm going to do instead is, for sure, like, it's going to be, well, okay, so I need to check for, I'm just going to reverse the logic here. So if it's, well, if it's not that, actually what I should do is I should say if it's that, we're going to go ahead and eat it, or it's going to be digit, or it's going to be letter. So if it's going to be any of those things, then we're going to I'm not even going to bother to do the actual eating part. I could just do the force advance and pass in the parser, so because that way we know it's always going to be like this case. It's either going to be this digit or a letter, and that's okay. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and well, this is the part where I would try to throw some sort of error. Now I don't have any functionality to do that per se. That's kind of what the eat token does. But it looks like here that if it's not that, I just go ahead and continue on anyway. So maybe I don't really need anything to check here. Maybe I'm just looking for a space. But I kind of want to be explicit at the same time. Maybe I could extract that out real quick. Maybe I can extract that error message out, because I kind of would like there to be some sort of error I could just throw whenever. Certainly would make the parsing a little bit easier. There was an error parsing input, expecting token I, but got I instead. Be nice if I could check, like, I could make this a Varadic function, or I don't even know if I'm saying that right, and just pass in any number of tokens and try to check against all of those. That might not be a bad approach going forward in the future. I don't even know if I spelled that right. Just gonna go Google that real quick. This is actually the correct spelling here. I don't even know how to enunciate it actually either. I'm from the Midwest, so speech is not exactly my strong suit. Sorry for all those who are in the Midwest and I just offended just now. Anyway. Okay. Well, what I could do instead then is I could just say we know that it's not going to be that. So we could just say that we're expecting it, but we got something else instead. So that makes sense. If the token is either the three things, then go ahead and force advance it. Don't even try to eat it, because there's no need to do an error. Otherwise, if it's not any of those things, try to eat it as a NOS PRCLF or whatever, because we know that digit and letter belong within that same validation piece. So we could just say, if it's not any of that, then go ahead and try to kill it. But the force advance does handle the colon piece, so I should also go ahead and check for that too. Oh my gosh, this is starting to get way too complicated. You know what? I think I'm just going to go ahead and consume it all. Whatever. No need to be specific about it. So let's just go ahead and just consume it all. Whatever. I don't even care. Let's just do it. All right. Okay, and then that solves that problem. So going down to the actual command here, then instead what I ought to do is I ought to do my looping. So while true. And I'm just going to go ahead and look at my other function that I have right up here anyway, see what I kind of did here. Okay, so I'm trying to allocate the prefix, and then I'm trying to eat the first colon, and then I'm trying to calculate the length that I need to copy over, create the new string for the prefix, and then go ahead and do stuff to set it all, and then move on to the next state. Okay, so instead from right here, I need to do something similar, but I need to be able to differentiate between a digit and not a digit. So okay, so I would want to throw an error if it's not any of those things, but I need to do a check. So if it's a digit, well, first of all, if the what is it? How did I do that? Did I do the IRC token is token type, pass in the parser, current token. So if that is a space, or okay, if that's token space, then we're going to go ahead and eat token. Let's see, it takes a parser, so pass in the parser and then the IRC token space. And then I don't necessarily want to eat it, but I don't want to advance it either. But at this point, it would already be in this phase, so I have to be careful with this one because I don't necessarily want to eat this and then progress the character per se. I would rather the handle parameters take care of that. But by the time we get to that point, then we should already have our parameters. So this might be okay. So let me go ahead and do that. So if it's space, then go ahead and eat it as space. Otherwise, if it's EOL, we're going to go ahead and eat it as EOL. And then here we're going to progress the parser state. Actually, in both cases, we're going to progress the parser state. So, and then we're going to break out of the loop, or better yet, return out of the loop, and then return. Okay. Seems pretty easy enough. Normally, what I could do here is I could use a goto statement. This is a good use case for that. For sure. Because at this point, if it gets to any of this point right here, we can automatically say that this is done. So why don't I instead just do that goto? So I need to make a label. So we'll call this advanced state. And then we'll just do parser state equal whatever, and then we're going to return, and then we'll just go to goto advanced state. So we'll break flow control here and just go to the advanced state. There, that's easy enough. Okay, so if it's EOL or if it's space, go ahead and eat. Then what I need to do is I need to now check for a digit. So if so I'm going to keep some sort of counter, and then we're going to set that to 0. So we need to know we need to have at least three digits. Well, I don't even think I need to do that. There might be some sort of math trick I might be able to use to calculate if we're at our three spot. But I do need to keep track of the digits, so I don't know why I just deleted that. Our actual digit number. So let me keep track of that as, let me think here. Great. I'm getting a whole bunch of text, and I'm trying to think at the same time. Uno momento. All right. Okay, so we'll just call this the command number, whatever. We'll just give it 0. If it's a digit, then we're going to IRC token of type parser, parser current token, IRC token digit. Then we're going to perform some math, and then we're going to say that it has to be a digit. So we're kind of like going to have some sort of like state machine involved here, because a letter cannot be a digit. So we'll just do a quick bool should remain in digit state. That's better. Digit state equal false, and then we're just going to do digit state equal true. And if IRC token is parser current token of type letter, then we're going to go ahead and say if digit state, then return error. I don't know how I want to do that. I could just say try to eat digit and then it would break. Ooh, that might not be so bad. Interesting. I just had an idea. But I don't know how that would work out like logically. It seems kind of funky because so if we're in digit state, then we can't go to letter state. But if we're in letter state and or if we go into it's easier to draw this stuff out in pictures, I swear. Finite state machines are so much easier to draw. I don't like doing them with a whole bunch of if statements necessarily all the time. But the question is how do you know what state to go into first and foremost? So we need to establish that. So this is where using booleans falls apart, because at some point I probably would like to add another boolean in here, but that's like the wrong approach. What I really want to do is some enum type-based approach, but without having to do the enum. So I'm just going to say if digit state equals 0, figure out what we're dealing with. So if it's digit, then go ahead and set the state to digit, or we're going to else digit state equal 2, because why not? And then what we could say is if digit state is equal to 1, then we're going to go ahead and eat token, and then this gets passed in IRC parser, which is there, and then IRC token digit, right? And then if digit state equal 2, then we're going to do the opposite. So, well, I'm being explicit here. I could just do an else, but whatever. So, and then we're just gonna do letter here. But in fact, I'm going to do something a little bit different with the letter. Did I just delete things? I believe I did. But I'm going to do something a little bit more interesting with the letter here. At this point, I'm going to actually keep track of the position of the line it's in. So similar to how I did it before with the up here, I'm going to do something similar because the command could also be a string of letters. So I should try to establish that. So char pointer, this is going to be our command text, and we're just going to leave that as unallocated at the moment. well, really I need the count, so I probably don't need that actually. So instead I should do int command letter or command length, and we'll only use this if we're in the right state. So then I'm going to do command length plus plus, so we can increment that. I think this should be okay. Because if it's in digit state 1, we're always going to look for that token. Otherwise, we're going to be looking for a letter. And if it's in the letter state, we're going to increment that letter. And then from there, we would know if by the end of this loop, whether or not we've broken the rule of how long our links are. But this is kind of where I broke here. It shouldn't really be called like advanced state, I guess. It should be like, this should go to, so advanced state should be the last piece of this function here. It doesn't even need that return statement. But instead of calling this advanced state, I'm going to call this validate command. And then, because when we go here, we just want to automatically try to validate it. Validate command, and then validate command. And then as we're validating command, I'm going to first check to make sure that there is a state. So so I'm going to go add the label back, advanced state. And then if digit state is equal to 0, then we're going to go ahead and go to advanced state. Otherwise, we're going to try to validate it. So if digit state is equal to 1 that we've established up above, then I need to check to make sure that it is greater than, or is 3 digits. Now, I guess you guys could argue that I could just try to all allocate this as a string, like how I did before with the prefix. Instead of trying to, I mean, I guess I could, like, instead of going through all this trouble right here, I guess what I could have done is I could have just tried to do this the exact same as the handler here, right up here. Do the exact same as this, except for at the end of it all, try to use the a2y function to try to convert it to an integer. And then from there, I can check whether or not it's, first of all, an integer, and then second of all, if it's if the length is not correct, if the digit length is not correct. But the advantage of going this route that I'm going right here with this substate, what I'm able to do is I'm actually able to explicitly say, as this is parsing out, like, if you pass in a letter, like, you're done. This is not correct. And then if you pass in a letter first, then they should all be letters. So this is, you know, this is an advantage this approach has. I'm particularly a fan of it just because of the error reporting aspects to it. Otherwise, it'd be a little bit more trickier to try to catch it in the act, because we have to like buffer and get through everything first and then try to check whether it's an integer or not. But then we would also have to validate at the same time that even if it is like a string of characters, it can only be letters or digits. So if so then we would have to check to make sure that there's no digits in it, which there could always be the possibility of it. I'm trying to build this to spec, so I don't think that doing that other approach is worth it. because I want this bot to work with theoretically like any server or any IRC server, but it's trivial for IRC clients or servers to kind of cut corners with their spec implementations, or clients to do the same. So I don't want to do that. So I'm doing things the hard way. Oh wow, someone just waved. I don't know what emoji that is. JD0950. Right. Okay. I guess it's just hi. So anyway, I'm gonna get off my soapbox and just move along here. So, ooh, I just thought of something. I could also check the command length too. Like I could just try to advance it each time. So I know if it's a digit, I could just see if that's equal to 3, greater than, or yeah, if that's equal to 3. If so, then it's good. I could do that, or I could do the math way, which of course I don't know off the top of my head. Anyway, let's skip that for now. I'll worry about digits in a minute. Okay, so I will do if checking digit state for 2, which in this case 2 would be looking for letters. This is where I'm going to do my allocations for things. So I think what I'm going to do is, yeah. So I have the length here. I did that as a size T. I probably should have done that. I should make this a size T, just to conform to the API in general. Okay, super newbie C learner here, haha, kind of a side interest. Yeah, I'm kind of a C newbie too. It may not sound like it, but I definitely am. I've only been doing this for a few months, so it's been exciting trying to learn this language and all of its intricacies. Yeah, alright. Okay. Gotta think about this. Alright, so what did I do up here before? Okay, so I definitely checked for the length. I did some allocations, prefix. Ooh. IRC prefix. Ooh, what did I do for that? Okay, let me check my IRC message header here. Okay, so JD 0950 asked me if new to programming or just C. Definitely not new to programming, but definitely more so new to C. Yeah. Okay, so IRC prefix. Okay, so I allocated an IRC prefix here, which has a length and a value. So the value is actually the prefix that I'm putting into it with the length. So I'm kind of keeping track of that. But the command is a little bit more trickier because I have a command parameter, so I'm not going to worry about those, but here is the tricky bit. So I'm trying to create the actual command, and it looks like it's broken up into various pieces here. We have a parameter count, an array of the parameters up to the max parameter count defined by spec. We have the command type, which will be command code or command name, and then we have the date time created. Wow. Okay. Wow. I didn't realize I designed this that way. Really, what I'm focused on right now is this union. But because we are in the handle command state of the actual parser here, I need to actually allocate this this whole thing and try to fill it out. So I think I ought to go ahead and do that. So before I do anything else, we're going to make a struct of IRC command, and it's going to be a pointer to the command. I'm going to try to allocate it. So if command equals the casted to struct IRC command pointer, malloc that to size of the actual struct, which is IRC command, and if that's equal to null, then I'm going to some error condition. So I think in an earlier video, which is on YouTube, someone pointed out a while back, this was like a couple of weeks ago, that I may have forgotten to, when I did my allocations of everything, I may have forgotten to set things to null. Okay, so I did, okay, so when I did my actual allocation of the message struct right here, which is a combination of the prefix and the command, then I went ahead and cleared those values out. So at this stage, this is still set to null. So okay, so this is fine. So then after I've allocated that, I should probably go ahead and do some sort of exit. I'll go ahead and take care of that. Unable to allocate command. Okay, so then I'm going to, so now that I have my command, now I need to zero out some of its members, but I don't have any pointers other than the array right here. So what I could do is I could just, you know, do a mem set on this thing, but I'm not going to bother with that because we already have a parameter count, so by default that should be set to 0. Oh, so JD0950 asked, is this a practice project? Yes, it is. Yes, this is very much a practice project. For a couple of things, actually. Like the whole reasoning behind this was I was getting into IRC a little bit. I know it's like kind of a much older technology, but I wanted to kind of explore it a little bit more, and I thought, well, I also want to learn C a bit better too. So, okay, I'll just call you JD then. And I thought I would explore the spec a little bit more, and then I went ahead and decided to do this project, and here I am. So it's kind of interesting. And then also, I don't know if you're new to this video series or not, but JD, but also the eventual plan is to also toy with Elasticsearch with this, which I've already done some work already to try to get things that are coming in from IRC into an Elasticsearch server to kind of do some searching of the actual records, or well, searching of the messages that come through. So it's kind of like a multi-project to learn many various things, and to do it all in the most horrifying way possible, and that is through C. So anyway, I need to go ahead and try to clear some of this out. Now that I've allocated it, I need to actually set the defaults. Parameter count, we're going to go ahead and set that to 0. So I'm going to leave the actual parameters array alone. The pointer of the parameters, so I'm going to leave that alone. And then the command type I'm also going to leave alone for right now, because we're going to use what we learned from here to define that. So but the datetime created, I don't even know what to put there. So I'm not going to deal with time right now, so I'm just going to leave that 0 and then add a little to do for me. Alright, going to leave that alone for now, and then move on down here to the states. So we know that if we're in the digit state, by default, what we're going to do is we're going to set the command to the type of command type is going to be the what do I call these? IRC CMD code. And then otherwise, I am going to set this to IRC command name. All right. Cool. The parameters, I'm going to leave 0 for now. That's going to be filled in later. And then before we do the advanced state, I need to go ahead and set everything appropriately. But if we meet some sort of like exit condition, that could be a problem. So before we do that, I need to go ahead and free this command, because what I don't want to do is leave this laying around. So I'm going to go ahead and free that, and then otherwise I'm going to, once everything's all said and done, I'm going to take the, I wonder if I passed that in here. Whoops, scrolled too far. So I do pass the message in here, so I'm just going to say, once we get to this point, message is going to go ahead and take the command I have defined. Cool. And then it's going to eventually get to the advanced state, and then all is said and done, free the command once that's not cool. Cool. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background, but my cat is, for some reason, climbing into all of the boxes I have in my room. Okay, so JD asked if I have any good tips in learning C. Practice. Maybe find a book. Do some online things, and then just find stupid little projects like this to get started. Maybe not quite as in-depth as a project like this, but definitely something, a little something to actually sink your teeth into to learn about functions, arrays, handling memory, doing all that other stuff. Okay. So free the command. Advance it, skip down here, otherwise we're going to go through the steps and then set the command to the command. Good, we're off to a very good start here. Okay, so I'm just going to copy and paste some of the things I have from up above, because that seems to be a little bit easier to do. Since we've already allocated the command, this union is already technically allocated, and so is the command name comes along with that, because that's a part of this whole allocation. So we should just be able to set the value, copy the line length, or the line that comes from the... oh my god, I wish you guys could see this. She is just knocking everything over. Okay, time to close the door. Where was I? So the command and the structs are already in here with this union, so I should just be able to copy everything over hunky-dorily. No need to allocate. Well, actually, I might need to allocate this right here. Ooh, do I need to? Yeah, I do need to. Okay, so I do need to allocate that, and then I'll do my copy and then set the last piece of that to 0. Yeah, they can get. I don't know. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I think C is easier than JavaScript. I'm just gonna say it. Too much can go wrong in JavaScript, so at least with C, if you do something wrong, at least it's in your face. The only trick is to make sure you remember to free your memory. Yeah. Okay. So I need to do all these crazy little things. Do a +1. Cool. So let's go ahead and do that then for the command name. So I need to allocate that. So the command has the property command. Whoops. Command, and then that's going to have the, since we're setting the this to a string, we're setting this to the name, we need to first set the length, which will be the command length, right? Yeah, and then the command value we need to allocate. So I need to do value equals char pointer, malloc that to size, I don't know if I spelled malloc right, I might have, size of char times the command length. Okay, and then I need to make sure I clear out that last I need to make sure to zero or to null terminate that, just to very explicitly say that this is the end of the string. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the actual actual line. So what is it? IRC lexer get current line, and then I'm going to pass in the parser, which contains an instance of lexer, and then from there I can do the strn copy, which is this one. The destination is going to be the command dot that dot name dot value. It's the destination. The source is going to be the line, and we're going to copy command length characters. Okay. That should do it. Knowing my luck, if I try to run this, I know it's going to try to break on me. That much I do know. But I think this is a pretty good start. Let me just rerun through my logic here. So we know we're in the digit state. We get the command length. We up it, every iteration. So this should be the length of the whole thing. And then I get the whole line from the lexer. Then I copy over that line up to the actual length of it. And then I set that last one to 0, or to the null terminating character. Cool. All right. I wonder if that's it. I feel like I'm missing something. Like, I know I'm missing the digit check, but I want to see if this actually works. What is command number? Oh, I'm trying to... Oh, that's where I would actually try to, like, use this here, so... Alright, it's worth a shot. Let's see if this even works. Okay, so... I'm going to click the debugger. It's going to do the compiling. Oh, I have an error somewhere. Probably some warning. Unused variable. Probably this. Things are not working out very well. Wow. Interesting. I wonder where all these zeros are coming from. None of these are commands, I think. Wow, I don't even know. This isn't right either. Like, I shouldn't be showing the colon here. Am I trying to go to the next command? Oh, wait, maybe I need to fix this. So if it's not the colon, I try to automatically go to the command, and I think that it's screwing up there a little bit, because it shouldn't be... yeah. Alright, well, thanks for watching, JD. This is all on YouTube, so if you click on the link below the this video, it should all be there. Yep, I definitely did something wrong. That is very, 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 very true. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and kill that. We got no, like, errors anywhere. because, wow. We didn't get any errors really anywhere because it kind of is working, but it's not working well. Like, I don't know what these zeros are. Those shouldn't be there. I don't think those should be there, these colons. It should be like, for the prefixes, it should just be like this. These colons might actually instead be the parameters, if I had to guess, but I don't know why they're showing up there. I could throw a debugger in this, and we can actually see for sure. So why don't we go ahead and do that? Okay, so we get our first debugging here. Command number, so command length is 6. Command type is command name. Parameter count 0. The name should be no, it should not be that. Okay, so things are a little screwy here because this is not right. I wonder if it's like getting to some sort of point where there might be something a little weird going on, and then it's like, well, it's not the colon, so let's just go to the command and then try to set it all. It could be the EOL token that it's hitting right now. But if it was, it would skip down to validate command, which I guess would try to validate it, and the current state is 0. But if we're in 0, it should try to kill it, go to advanced state. So then on next iteration, it's not actually advancing. Maybe I need some sort of advancing piece to this, because this isn't advancing at all. I wonder if... Yeah, none of this is advancing here. It's just... I mean, I guess it is. I guess it's going to eat it and then go to the next one. We can see if this actually reaches. I'll go ahead and throw a breakpoint in there. Nope. Not there, at least. In that run. Let's see what about the next run. Next run. Next run. Okay, so we're definitely not getting into the EOL. So that's good. We could be getting into the space. Let's try that. Yep, we're getting into the space. But we should know if we've already hit the prefix beforehand, which we did. So this one's okay. We hit the space. Now it should try to parse out the command. Starts at the letter C. So that does, oh, that's the prefix, sorry. And then the command is still set to null at this point. So let's see if it actually goes down to the next one. So yeah, it does advanced state. The command now is set to command name with the name sent to card. Oh, I am being dumb. I am being so dumb. Oh man, I completely forgot about the offset in this copy here. So the string copy, I'm doing it from the beginning of the line. That's actually not supposed to happen. I'm actually supposed to have kept track of where I'm at as far as positioning goes, because then I would do pointer math and then do, you know, the offset. Oh, but then the question is, how do I know what the offset is? I can determine that based off of the length of the prefix plus 2, because I think with the prefix I'm killing the colon, and then I'm killing the trailing space. So if I get the length plus 2, that should technically bring me to my offset of this. So I could try to do that. So message, let's see, prefix. I don't know if I have that pointer. Yeah, I do have that pointer. Length plus 2. And then that should say start at the offset of line at position 0 up to the position of where the command is at. Excuse me. And then copy over up to the command length. So which was 6 characters, I believe. Let's check this out. Oh, close. We're kind of kicking off the end there. That's not good. Maybe I miscounted how I did this. Very close, though. Very close indeed. Probably the 0 is to represent that up here I don't have... why am I doing a new line at that point there? No wonder why this is not looking right to me in my eyes. The new line should be here. I think I just had that for testing purposes. Okay, let's scroll down here. So the zeros mean there's no command, and then the notice is being cut off. So because the end is being cut off, I've gone the offset a little too much. So maybe just do 1, because I don't remember how I, well, the line length plus 1. I mean, it should be 2, but maybe, oh, because maybe the length order takes into account that plus 1, so therefore I have to do another plus 1. And then this should be all right. Oh boy, there's the commands. Oh, this is so exciting. Oh, look at all that. I love this. I love when things work. Wow, I completely blind coded that too. Like, I didn't even like, well, I mean, not fully blind coded it, but at least as far as like the, you know, the general state machine aspect of it, like the substates aspect of that function, I definitely was not expecting this to work. I just love little surprises like this. Now I can actually test to see if something interesting happens when I try to send a my own custom command. I don't even know if this will work. Like, I don't even know if that's like true, like if that even works. Yeah, it doesn't do anything, but yeah, there it is. I get a private message. So I guess you can't do custom commands unless they're like, I don't know. Like, I need to learn how IRC does things. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of fun. I love that. Oh, look at the time. We're at an hour too. So this is usually the time at which I kind of cut out. And I think I'll go ahead and do that. We came to a very good spot. Other than checking the validation of the digits and doing all that stuff, I'll just go ahead and do closing notes and then go ahead and take care of that tomorrow. Cool. So as always, underneath the whoops, hold on, I gotta resize these things. I'm on a bigger monitor. Okay, so this all the YouTube videos can be found at, if this will scroll. All the YouTube videos can be found down here underneath social. I have this as a series, and I will try to get this episode up tonight. This will be episode 16. All code can be found at GitHub at my GitHub/FredLaw, repositories, Elastic IRC Bot. This is the repository that houses all the code. So tonight's stream will be the 2018-08. Oh boy, what is today? Today is the 16th, so this will be 2018-08-16. And that's all I have. Thanks for watching. JD, shout out to you for your comments. I love comments when people type on here, so I encourage people to do that more. So, all right, best of luck to you, JD, in your learning of C. All right, thank you. Have a good night.